Okay guys, welcome back. So it's time for the fun to begin. What I'm going to do is just pull these windows out slightly and this one down a little bit so that we can see, well, as much of the scene as we can. And let's have a look. The camera will start over this side for me. I'll just back up a little bit and come down. What we're going to do is we're going to build our little world. So in fact the camera actually starts over here if I remember rightly. Yep, that's right, with the spiky hill there. Now we're going to drag and drop a load of game objects onto the scene and build our little environment now. So what I want to do, while we're here, I might as well bring the target focus onto the image target as well. I'm going to drop items onto this landscape game object that we have so that they can all be grouped together. Now, if you come over to the assets and go into AxeWorks, here are all the different game objects that we've got to play with. So first things first, I'm going to drag out a cave and drop that onto the landscape. There we go. So a little bit big. Let's shrink that down slightly. Oh, with a scale object, there we go. I'm going to rotate it about -125 and I'm going to position it across on the X more and pop it over into this corner here. There we go, so I've got a nice cave now. I also want the mountain, so where should I put the mountain? Let's put the mountain in this corner here. So let's come down, get the mountain and drag that onto the landscape. It's probably going to be about the right size. There we go. I'll move that over here. So let's just move the camera around slightly. I don't want it to fall inside of the landscape too much. There we go. Maybe rotate it a little bit. There. Now your landscape's going to be completely different to mine, obviously. But as long as you make something that looks cool, that's the only thing I'm bothered about. The next thing, let's drag the hut. So it's down here somewhere. Maybe it's up actually. Where are you? There it is. Drag the farm hut onto the landscape. Okay, that seems to be ridiculously tiny, so I'm going to scale that up and I'll flip that 180. There we go. I'm going to move it across and rotate it a bit more this way. And let's put a nice fence outside and scale you up and move that across as well. About here. Oh, there we go. And on the other side of the hut, what should we have? Let's have a couple of barrels outside. So let's grab this barrel here and pop that on the landscape. And scale you up. And then move you across to about here. What else have we got? There's one, there it is, the lamppost. I want the lamppost to be on the landscape and scaled up. Then we're going to move that across as well. So I love building mini levels like this. Let's rotate it again. So now we have a little lamp outside the hut. What else should we drop in? Let's drop in a couple of hills. So here's the hilly grass. A little bit too big this time, so I'll scale you down. Let's move you back over here. And then let's put a few trees around that too. So let's have a look. Which one should we use? Let's use this one, this tree Asian on the landscape. Scale that up. There we go. And let's position you over here and rotate you slightly. Now I'm then going to right click and duplicate the tree and move it over here and rotate that about 180 just to give it a little bit of a different look to it. We could probably do with one of these trees as well. Let's drag you out. Here we go. I'll make you bigger. Oh, you're a little bit odd. I don't like you actually. We'll remove you. Let's have a look. What else should we do? Well, let's grab another couple of trees actually. I'll select both of them and duplicate them. I'm going to move you across to this side, and just to give it a little bit of a new feel, I'll rotate you about 90. There we go. So we've got a few more trees. Let's have a look at, there's a well in here somewhere. If I search for the well, there it is. So let's drag you out onto the landscape and scale you up. Okay. Let's place you around the middle. Well, you can be, in fact, you can be near the hut. And let's rotate you to face this direction. So now we've got a well as well. Okay, a couple of flower beds wouldn't go amiss. So what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to right click and create an empty game object called flowers. Okay, and then where are the flowers? Here we go, here's one. So we'll drop you on. There we go. I'll just scale you up. I'll zoom into you first. Yeah, you're very small. Well, let's make that a bit bigger so we can see it. Not too big, it wants to be kind of realistic. Now the reason I put this in another game object is because I want to duplicate this a few times and move it around to give it the impression that we've kind of got a bit of a flower bed going on. Here we go. I'm just pressing Command and D to as a shortcut key to actually position these flowers and flower bed. There we go. And put one over here, one here, one about here. I'll move you over here. And there we go. We've got a few flowers now. So now what I can do is I can get the entire group, right click and duplicate the group, and move a full set of flowers somewhere else. So let's bring some flowers down here and then rotate the entire group. Like so. Okay, that's looking a little bit better. Maybe some grass. There's some grass here. I can drag you out onto the landscape and bring you down and scale the grass up. Let's have a look. Bit more. Yeah, I think the grass looks okay. Let's duplicate the grass as well. And move that over here. So we've got a couple of grass beds now. Doesn't matter if any go inside the mountain or the hill, to be honest. I'll rotate you about 180 just to give it a different look once again. And maybe make these blend in slightly, like so. Okay, we're getting there, what else can we bring out? Let's bring out a massive rock chunk. So let's have a look how you look. Okay, you look good beside the mine, I think. So let's bring you over here. There we go. I'll sit you inside the side of the terrain. A few more trees. Let's grab this tree and duplicate you. Bring you down here. There we go. And again, we'll put a tree up over here maybe and rotate it. It looks a little bit different. And let's see what else is in here. I mean, this is such a great little asset pack. Let's drag a rock out and bring you down here. So we've got a rock. Make it a bit bigger. And sit that against the side of the mountain. And then if I duplicate the rock and rotate it I can shrink it down and make kind of a set of rocks. Just like so. And maybe make you smaller again. Cool. Now these are all low poly. So the loading time will be hardly any impact at all. And because these are prefabs, you can use them, you can duplicate them over and over again. And the script will just load one prefab and then make clones of all the rest. So it's not like we're pulling out hundreds and hundreds of game objects here. That's the ideal thing about a prefab in the first place. What else have we got? Let's have a look. Oh, a castle. Maybe we can put the castle over in the background. Go. So I'll grab the tower and drop you on the landscape. Yeah, you look kind of cool. Let's bring you over in the background here, over the mountain. So let's move you down here. And maybe make it a bit bigger actually. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. What else have we got? A bridge. Let's see how this looks. Scale you up. You're like a walkway, so maybe let's have a look at this castle tower. If I could connect the bridge somehow. Let's rotate it 180 and bring it down over here. And then raise it up on the Y. Now it's too big, so if I scale this down, we might be able to get the two to kind of sit together to give the impression that there's a walkway coming from one to the other. Let's have a look how that looks if I click off. Yeah, that's not too bad. I mean, the position's slightly off, so I just need to move that. Yeah, cool. I like that. If I drag the candle to the landscape. Let's have a look at you. Where are you for a start? It's over here. Now, could I use that as a base? I think so. If I bring you down over here. Let's just zoom around for a second. Let's see if I can get this to kind of sit underneath the other. I know the candle is obviously not a part of the castle, but the texture looks so similar. I wonder if I could pull this off. If I can position it correctly, that is. I don't know. I'm unsure about this one, guys. Maybe if I increase the Y on its own, and I just use the scale of the Y, that's not a bad idea. Okay, let's position it correctly. So bring you across a bit more. Maybe scale it down some more so it's thinner, but then increase the Y again so it's taller. Oh, we're getting there, we're getting there. Just come over the top slightly. Try and position this a little bit better. Scale it down some more. Increase the Y some more. Yeah, we can get away with that. Just move you down. And position it correctly. And yeah, that'll do. Not too bad. Nearly. It's just trial and error, guys. We're just having a little bit of fun building our little world. I think it's coming together quite nicely. What else have we got? Let's add one more thing. Ooh, a bridge. Let's have a look. A bridge. Bring you over here and scale it up. There we go. Let's rotate the bridge. Maybe this way. And let's move it down here. Rotate it again. And maybe, let's have a look in here. Is there any water? No. Ah, I have an idea. Let's put the bridge over this side for a second. Okay. Let's rotate it again, like so. Now what I want to do, if I just move these flowers out slightly, like so. I'll move the well further over here. Okay. And then just raise the bridge slightly. Now I've got an idea. If I take this tree and Command D to duplicate the tree, then go inside, click on the top, I can change on the right hand side, look in the inspector, I can change the shader. So if I make this blue, like so, then if I drag this out onto the landscape, let's have a look where you are. Ah, maybe I could position the tree underneath to make it look like water. So let's zoom across and let's just put this underground slightly. I think the blue's wrong. So let's go and edit the blue to be something more similar to the water of the well. Should be lighter. Like something like this, maybe. Yeah, not bad. I mean, it has a different reflection on compared to the other one, so it won't look exactly the same. But now I could scale this and let's see what would happen. There we go. Look, we can scale this object to make it look like water. If I position that underneath slightly and scale it even more, there we go. We've got water under a bridge. Not too bad. I mean, it doesn't go anywhere, but it looks good and adds to the scene. One last thing, inside the mine, let's have a look where you are. Ah, one of the crystals. Drop you on the landscape. Scale you up. And let's move you over inside the cave. That looks pretty cool. I like it. Oh, I've gone through the bird. Okay, brilliant. The scene's coming together. I mean, you guys go to town on this. Creating your own town, I guess. I mean, you could put a full castle going across the back wall if you want to. There's one more thing I want to do to add a bit of life. Oh, and while we're at it, if I get hold of this water, which is the tree, and duplicate that, I bet I can make it kind of look a little bit like a river coming through. There we go. It'd just be a case of maybe rotating the water and increasing the scale. Don't want it to go off the edge of the map. But that kind of works. Yeah, not bad for a low poly river. Okay, one last thing to add a bit of life. Let's make the volcano come to life. Now, if you remember right in the beginning, we imported the particle effects. So if I just go into the standard assets and into the particle systems, there's a prefab, and one of them is Steam Mobile. So let's grab that and drop it here onto the scene. Now look, if we zoom in, you can see some steam coming out of the volcano.